Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield.
All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10X, time to level up. Hey, you are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast, coming to you from the Big Dog Construction Studio in beautiful downtown Springfield. Robert Ferriell here, certified 10X coach, speaker, and mentor, here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. Well, hey, you are listening to the Wellness Upgrade on Elevate Springfield, where we're going to bring you specific strategies to help elevate your health and wellness. Hey, if you're not elevating your health and wellness, you're not going to be able to elevate in all other areas. This is the baseline. You know I'm passionate about it, and you know that's why I brought this segment to Elevate Springfield. We're going to get right to our guest after the break. Looking for personalized insurance with hometown care? David Hilst, American Family Insurance Agents, here to help you protect what matters most: your family, your home, and your dreams. Whether it's auto, home, life, business, David and his team are proud to serve the Springfield community with trusted advice and reliable coverage. Local service, real relationships, peace of mind. Call today or stop by their office. They can build your dream protection plan together. Call 217-726-6343. And we are back for another edition of the Wellness Upgrade. Hey, regular contributor to the show, friend of the show, friend of mine, Mr. Kenny Hyde from Kenny Hyde, your wellness guy.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you so much. Doing great, man. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Always good to have you.
Yeah.
So, topic of the day, the coach's perspective on health and wellness. So where are we going with that, man?
This one I just kind of whipped up. A friend of mine told me a story, and it's actually a story about him. He's like, Kenny, people who are fit and healthy die every day. And so he was sharing his perspective with me, and I just thought it was really interesting I'm like, you mean to tell me there are people out there that don't think your inputs matter at all, like inputs and outputs? And he's like, yeah, a lot of people I know are that way. So I just thought there would be great value in sharing my experience with the audience, just to see, or just to show that little things that you do, information, accountability, can make a profound impact on your health. So just sharing some of the work that I've done. One of them would be acid. I mean, that's almost a guarantee. Mm-hmm. If anybody has any stomach acid or acid issues, that one's almost a guarantee that we can make that better or basically gone.
Typically through nutrition changes,
nutrition, well, you know me, I'm all about whole foods, right? Mm-hmm. Eating the food that God put here. And when you have that extra fiber and you prepare the food yourself and you educate yourself on some of those little things, seed oils, just all the additives that they're putting in for the food that's convenient, that we can just go buy. Ordering a steak, you can order it without the butter. Just little things like that can really reset your stomach and how it's responding to the stuff that we do.
Now, it's interesting. You said, some people will say, a guy that was really in shape and everything. And then there's also, I've heard on the flip side, oh, my grandpa smoked and drank and he lived till he was 95 or
right.
What. So you hear that from people too.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. And so I wanted to share my perspective just to add another side to that. Like, on one hand, yes, people are blessed with good genetics, strong mindsets. They have drive. A lot of those older individuals, they were on purpose. Mm-hmm. They might have smoked like a chimney, right. But they were on purpose. They were smoking and they were happy about it, and I think there's a effect of health with that. I think the person who's always trying to quit smoking versus the person who's smoking and happy about it, I do think there's a health effect from that. But overall, pre-diabetes, diabetes, that's pretty common when somebody enrolls in my program, in my service, and it's just a matter of time before their blood health changes and they're not pre-diabetic anymore.
Right.
So the things that we do the education we get and the support. That's really what it is. And I think another one would be time. A lot of people are concerned about time. And we just heard that one
Yeah,
today.
we were just talking about that earlier.
It's really a check-in with me is 30 minutes. And whatever time you need, I'll make it on the schedule if you have a different schedule. And again, just getting that information, making sure you're doing those little things like being properly hydrated, eating enough fiber. Like these are boring ideas, but I see a profound change in people's health, normalizing blood pressure, A1C, getting people off the GLP-1 stuff. Like that's been their goal. They're like, I did this to lose a few pounds and now I'm wanting to do it the right way. I want to educate myself. And so profound changes. Also with scans, with the tracking your body fat, that's a huge one. A lot of people say, well, Kenny, I've tried everything and the scale doesn't change. When you can understand the tracking, like the body fat and the skeletal muscle mass, and understand how that works, then the number on the scale kind of becomes irrelevant.
Right. So with the folks that come in that are already on the GLP-1s and with the scanning and the tracking, what are you seeing there?
That's interesting. So a lot of times I have a start point. I have a gal right now who got off of them pretty soon after she started, and her muscle mass is doing a big rebound. It's going up dramatically. Her gut had slowed down, and that did take some extra finesse. Like she had to get on some digestive enzymes and some supplements of her choice, and that started to improve. Got her nutrition like a good baseline of calories, because that's another thing a lot of females do is they gouge their calories. So it's almost impossible for their body to be wealthy enough to produce muscle tissue. And so just that subtle massaging, getting them to understand, hey, this isn't about starving yourself. Your body deserves calories. And when you put the real food in there, and then just some basics on weight training, it's really simple stuff.
Right.
A leg press and just doing a few sets of leg press a few times a week. Yeah, I think that girl has put on 6 pounds of muscle in 2 months.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty good, yeah.
And then, of course, the cool thing about your body fat percentage is the more muscle you gain, that in of itself changes your percentage.
Right. Because that's been, one of the concerns that I hear out there on the GLP-1s is, yeah, you may lose some weight, but it's really easy to start losing muscle mass as part of that weight.
Yeah. There's another gal, she lost 40 pounds with me. She started taking off like a rocket, and I hadn't yet fed her all the information. And come to find out, scan, the second and third scan, her muscle mass was going like this. And so it's interesting when you see a dip, how you can start talking about protein and how important it is and what number we should set. And you can watch that muscle mass start climbing again. And for that one, I've noticed a lot of people are like, oh, Kenny, this is just so much protein. How am I going to eat this much protein? That's where a blender can come in handy and start making smoothies. I found the power of liquid egg whites. You can actually, they're pasteurized. Yeah. So you do your protein powder of choice with your veggies and your berries, or you could do a more dessert style one like chocolate peanut butter style with like that PB Fit. And for anybody who is struggling to hit their protein targets, that's what the supplements are for. It's to supplement your diet. So if you're having big potholes in your nutrition where you're way low on your protein intake, that's a really effective way. It's just a basic protein powder, whether it's plant-based or whey.
Like we've talked before, I keep my protein intake way up there. I got my bison in the fridge over there, right? Just ready to go for me tonight, just in case I don't make it home in time for dinner. Yeah. And a big part of that is making sure you plan ahead and make sure you're ready to, and you have that protein available so you don't make poor choices.
Exactly. Making it convenient, right? And if you have the means, there's so many options out there like Fed Kitchen, different meals that are pre-made that you can buy that aren't in the freezer section, by the way, because you're going to get hit with a ton of salt. But while we're on that protein topic, also out of any nutrient that you can put in, protein's different because it actually increases, like your gut has to work harder to break it down. So it ups your metabolism. It increases satiation. So you feel more full. You're not going to be wanting to reach. I've noticed this. People who have low protein intake tend to reach for sugar a lot more.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why they're not losing weight. So my goal with this topic was just to share what I've seen and just doing little things. just to inspire somebody who might be watching that, you can do it. It just might be your approach. If you're just going off the scale, we have over at S2, they do in-body scans for free. So it's just getting over there. And if anybody watching just wants me to read a scan or educate them on that, I'll do it for free. If you go get one and find me and text me, I'd be happy to give that support.
Audience. Yeah. And one thing that I always think about too, when folks say, yeah, this guy was in great shape and he had a heart attack, or this guy lived till 100, but he smoked like a chimney as well.
Yeah.
You can't base your life on the one-offs, on the exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
Right? Those aren't the norm.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that. 100%. Yeah. There's always going to be those outliers.
Right.
The way I think about it is like just passing that one soda a day, just saying no to that one soda a day could easily be 15 pounds at the end of the year that you wouldn't put on, right? Looking at it from the subtraction method, if that's the one thing you don't do today is that extra soda, that's the data shows 10 to 15 pounds in a year.
It adds up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a ton of it.
Yeah.
So a few minutes ago, you were talking about leg press. So it got me thinking. So these folks early on in their health and wellness journey, do you direct them more toward compound exercises or a little more isolation type exercises?
Yeah. My main thing is I want it to be fun. My favorite thing is bodybuilding. So I'm going to show them if they're into that. Like some of my clients, it's just cardio, or it's Pilates or yoga or martial arts. But for those that are like, yeah, I want to get stronger, I want to build a physique, I do suggest compound movements in the beginning. And I am pro machine, honestly, because it's simple to teach. I think it needs to be repeatable. And starting with the compound stuff, I usually throw my first session a full body day just to show them the core, a good push, a good pull, and some legs. And then I sprinkle in and whatever their programming they want. We just start tailoring it towards what their goals are. So the only thing you don't want to do on a leg press is get so low, get the weight down so low into the stretch that your tailbone lifts off.
Right.
You want to keep that tailbone down, because I've had a few people tweak their back from doing it that way. So we get those safeties that the bumpers, just move those up a little bit when you're starting.
No, and those machines especially can be good for learning form.
Oh yeah.
Before you start handling dumbbells and free weights. I love dumbbells because you get the stabilizer muscles and the whole thing in there. But especially early on, using the machines is a great way to learn proper form as you're easing your way into weightlifting, bodybuilding, however you're going to take it.
It's like when we're on that leg press, we start looking at the squat rack or the dumbbells or whatever. And I'm like, it might be time. You want to give it a shot. And that's how we kind of make the evolution happen to where they're doing more stabilizing.
I'll tell you talked about maybe doing one day of a full body. Every now and again, I still will do that. I feel like I need a breakthrough. So I'm going to take a couple of days here where I'm just going to break out my whole body and just do the whole thing. And it does tend to break out of a plateau occasionally when you do it that way.
I agree. I usually do it when I'm slacking. Like if I've slacked a few days and I'm like, everything's fresh, I'm just going to
hit it all. There you go. What kind of split do you do personally?
Push, pull, legs. And I was doing every other day, so covering, and I was going really intense. But I've since started doing more volume training. And the theory is to protect your CNS, your central nervous system, because there were days where I might be off a meal. I'm trying to get 5 meals in a day just to keep the size and the strength. And if I miss a meal or I'm down on sleep, I'll go and blast. And then my recovery's taken so long. I'm wanting to increase that protein synthesis. They say when you train, you get an uptake in protein synthesis. So my goal is to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, rest Thursday, and then hit it again in the week. And it's higher volume, not as intense. So I'm not as sore. I'm able to recover faster. I get more pumped, and I'm enjoying that right now.
Any other inputs that people should be looking at?
Yeah, I think your purpose. Why do it? Because I think that's the thing. It's the start that stops most people. They really don't want it enough, or they've bought limitation. They've sold their self on why it won't work. And so if any of these little things hit today, I would encourage the audience to look inside yourself. If this is hitting you, what would drive you to a goal? And then it would be the goal, right? What is measurable? A lot of people don't have measurable goals because they don't believe it, or they say the number's not important. It's not that number that you want. It's the way it's going to make you feel, right? And confidence wise. So it could be a waistline measurement. It could be health. if you're just tweaking small things and making it doable, that's what I've seen with my clients is a lot of them just don't believe it. But when they sign up with me, they put trust in me, and it's an information assisted process. So they get to go as fast as they want to go. And that's what cultivates that belief. After 3 weeks of hitting a 2-pound target, they're believing in themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That belief is way up at that point.
So yeah, that's kind of a mixed answers in that, but those things like having that belief in that you just got to get started. And once it works and you get some impact, that belief will come through and it builds momentum is what I would say.
Completely agree. Those inputs matter.
Yeah.
Well, Kenny, if somebody either believes right now or doesn't believe right now, but they want to come work with you, man, where do they go?
Yeah. Just go to kennyhyde.com. There's a lot of good information on there, including testimonials. And then you can find me all over social media, Kenny Hyde Coaching on TikTok and Instagram. And then my number's 217-883-8837.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it as always.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Well, we're going to let Kenny Hyde, Springfield's wellness guide, get back to elevating Springfield. But for the rest of y'all, we'll be right back.
Hey, Springfield, when it comes to reliable, high-quality roofing, you don't want to leave things to chance. That's why you should reach out to Acosta Angeli Roofing, your local roofing expert serving Springfield and surrounding communities. From quick, dependable repairs to full replacement, from residential to commercial, they are your trusted pros. Call them today at 217-993-2748 or visit their website to book your free quote and inspection. Don't wait. A little leak now could lead to major damage later. Trust the local experts, protect your home, and get peace of mind with Acosta Angeli Roofing.
Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Hope you're enjoying these quick hits of actionable strategies here on the Wellness Upgrade on Elevate Springfield. Thank you again to Shudokan Karate Club. Hey, take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield. Be great.
Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at sangamontreeservice.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust.